It actually snowed last night. Really put me in the Christmas spirit. I got my fuzzy sweater on. I got this for a few dollars at the thrift store and I put it on and I walked by my son and he looked at me. He just reached out. Touch. It's just one of those sweaters. You just know it's snuggly. So anyway, it's time to tackle Christmas decorating. I should have started sooner technically. I'm not a very good blogger. Apologies. But I have a lot of trees. I kind of collect one, like add to my collection every year because I believe you should own a forest. So this is the most trees I've ever had. I'm feeling like official crazy Christmas lady. And what I'm gonna do is do a different tree in different rooms. So I'm thinking in this room, my bedroom, I'll do the silver champagne tree and we'll do more like Victorian creams and candles and all that. And then in our fireside room, we'll do traditional just green and red, really old English looking. And then in my living room area, I'll do, I think I wanna try the browns. They're super trendy. I don't love being trendy. I don't want to just be trendy to be trendy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm cautiously doing the brown, but I do love brown and it could look really cottagey. So we're gonna do brown and gold. That's gonna be our trendy tree. So the first thing I'm going to do is get into those bins where I store all of my Christmas decorations. I have 9 bins. I actually have a whole video on how I organize my holiday decorations and a lot of people really appreciate that. So I'll stick that on a card somewhere on the screen here for you and you can watch that if you need some organizing help. And so I have my bins and then I have an inventory of what is in my bins. I have it all written out and I can just pull it up on my computer, read through about 4 pages of details and find out everything, like which bin has the stockings, which bin have the red miniature ornaments. Literally, it's that easy. So I just pulled up my inventory list and I wrote my little shopping list and wrote next to the pieces that I thought I would use in the fireside room, I wrote the bin number next to the item. So I'm feeling pretty smug. I'm gonna go collect all the goodies for that room. This is full of books. Green and red books. I'm kind of piling up everything on the couch out in our shop. Do you guys remember when I made this? I took a doormat from IKEA and I painted it to look like a gingerbread house. But I never want to actually walk on it, so I hang it on the wall. Anyway, I've got some things to play with. I'm excited about this. Today's video is in collaboration with some of my dearest friends. You may already follow them, but if not, you are in for a treat. There's Sarah from Grace in My Space, Cami from tidbits.com, and Andrea from Pine and Prospect Home. Each of us is sharing a piece from our home, and I'm sure there's DIYs mixed in and things for you to get inspired from at this time of year with Christmas decorating. So if you love DIY and Instagram and sort of a modern flair, you're gonna love Sarah from Grace in My Space. Andrea is really known for her really pure aesthetic with English Cottage, and she just has a really serene, breathtaking look to her home. And Cami is also really serene, but brings in a real Victorian vibe that I love. So all of these women inspire me. I'm sure that you will love them as well. Be sure to check out the links in my description and see what they have prepared for you today as well. So the first area I want to tackle in this room is the stove area. And this is the main way we heat our home. So this is a blazing hot stove. So I have to think about the heat factor and make sure to not use things that would melt or say fresh greenery that would get really crispy. I've done that before. I made a cedar garland and it was terrible by Christmas. So we are gonna make a garland, but it's already dried and I think I like how it looks. So I think we're okay there, or I'll use faux greenery. For this stove, I have my beloved sled that I bought on Craigslist for $50 years ago. And you see this sled show up. It's kind of like a Where's Waldo piece that shows up in a different spot every year. And I've never put it by the stove, but I love the story feel of that. Like, Try to make your decorations feel like they were actually part of someone's lifestyle. So kids would hang mittens and put boots and the sled maybe by the stove, the fire to dry off. So that was my thought with that. And then I have these. I have 3 different sizes of these galvanized buckets, but you know, we've moved away from the farmhouse look, and so they feel a little farmy for me and not as elegant as I would like. However, I do think I'm going to use them on the porch. I initially thought, you know what, I'll put the kindling in here, and we have, you know, we have to clean out our ashes and things, so I'll stack them around the fireplace. But as you can see, the gray on gray is just not enough contrast. You got to keep your contrasts going in good design. So I think I'll put them on the porch, and I think I will actually put greenery in them, sort of like maybe like a French market feel, where you're walking through a outdoor flower market or something, and there's different containers of cuttings, and I'll get things from around my yard, and I think that might look good on the porch, but not so much by the wood stove. And then another trick, if you don't have a mantle, which wood stoves, we don't have a mantle for. I have a mantle upstairs, which I'll style that for you 2 more weeks. I'm gonna show you that. So what I like to do with our wood stove for our stockings is to hang them along the banister. You can do that, and we've added in some glass knobs. Just put them straight in like hooks. And we do use them throughout the year to dry things, but their most important function is for the stockings at Christmas. So the kids' stockings are gonna go here, and then my husband and mine, and we have a dog one, those can go up on the mantle upstairs. They also could go on peg hooks. If you have just a shelf with pegs, that's a good option too. One of the things you're gonna find when you're setting up your Christmas decorations is that it's going to require that you remove a lot of what you have already. And for that, I wouldn't overthink it. I would just grab those items and put them back in the bin that the Christmas decorations are coming out of. And then after Christmas, you can sort it all out. It takes me about 3 hours after Christmas to fix all my bins and put things back how they were, which maybe I'll do a video on that. But don't feel too bad about tucking a bunch of things away, because it does refresh your house, and it's just a fun opportunity to get a new look. So go ahead and be bold when you're editing. Okay, so I ended up deciding to change out this. Okay, actually my daughter is mad that I didn't give her the credit for that. It was her idea. She said, change the painting out right here. And I just have, that's a Goodwill painting and another frame that I put over it. It's so ghetto, you guys. But I have that print from Etsy, and we decided that it looks really good with the crock down here that I have the kindling in. And so you want to get repeating colors, and you want them on diagonals. That's what I'm getting at here. So we have our like blue grayish tone with our snowy scene up here, and then it creates this diagonal line across the space down to the crock. Next, I would like to start on this bookshelf, and we're gonna pull the blue. I love the blue, but now is an opportunity to try other colors that I normally wouldn't decorate with. So I'm going to, I might just pull the blue and the brown out and then rebuild it with my red and white. So we'll see what we have. I've got some red transferware, I've got green and white books, I've got a vintage Santa Claus, and some bottle brush trees. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna like do this in front of you and see what we come up with. things I'm most excited about this year are these candles that I got. They're not cheap. I think they're about $5 a piece, but they're electric candles. And you put the batteries in here. They actually feel like wax. I think there's a wax coating on them. So you turn it on. It's a little bit purpley looking down there. It's supposed to probably be a blue light. But I do like them. And my thought was that I would put one in each window of our house. And then they come with this plasticky little gold stand, which I could rub and buff this, or I could do better and use my brass candlestick holders. I have a bunch of these in different styles and heights, and I'm going to use these instead. But they are a real beautiful look. Candles are really taking off, I feel like, more than in the past. Investing in some electric candles would be a really good idea, I think, for the next few years. And then it comes with a remote. Turn it off. I can set it for 2, 4, 6, or 8 hours. I can dim it. Let's try that. And it flickers too, so there's bright. Isn't that cool? Okay, so these are gonna go in the windows. And then for the banister, I did the decorations at our church, and I bought a bunch of salal. It's called salal. It's a really inexpensive greenery that's native in Washington, and you can just buy a lot of it for not very much money. So we had some leftover that I purchased back from the church, and it dried. I mean, it feels, you can hear it. It's really crunchy. But it does hold a nice enough look, I feel like, in the same way that I feel about eucalyptus, how when it's dry it's still useful. So I'm gonna take this, I hope it's not too smashed, it's been stored in a box. I'm gonna take this leftover salal and try to create a garland that I can swoop down the banister here. And then I got some pretty red ribbon that I'm gonna use to tie it up for the swag part. I also use this on my gifts that I'm starting to wrap already. And I always like to switch up my gift wrapping each year. Here's a look that you might like for 2022, is to do a tone on tone. So I've got red packages with the darker red ribbon on them. And I think all together that'll look very elegant and sophisticated, and it's a really easy switch up to give your presents a new look that can incorporate with your decorating. So I assembled the tree last night, and it needs to be fluffed and decorated. The first thing that I tried was my tree topper. This is just plastic. And I decided it looks like plastic. I'm okay with plastic, but it can't look like plastic. So it looks too cheap to me. Oh, we'll see. Maybe once I'm done, I'll put it up there, but my initial thought is that we're not going to use this. And then I got these. You know how I shop and I thrift all year long and collect holiday things. You really can get a lot of things when you're out thrifting for the holidays. So this set was $4, regularly $10. One of them's broken, I see. Glass ornaments. I really like the matte green ones, and I definitely will try to incorporate those. Matte ornaments are super trendy right now. A lot of people are painting their ornaments with chalk paint to get that really matte look. Okay, and then here's another cute idea. These tiny little miniature composition books. So you can get 3 at the Dollar Tree. So I just got 2 packs. And I want to change out the covers. I haven't decided if I want Christmas books. These are my inspiration pictures. I love the little Christmassy books. I also love the classics. So books that I raised my children on, I thought would be fun, like Anne of Green Gables or Little Women or something. But I'm going to get some book covers and shrink them down to this size and print them out, and then make little ornaments with my little books. Okay, so I have these little books that we talked about, and I thought I had 6, but I actually have 9, and this would be a really cute idea for any family. I decided to do books that my children loved when they were little, and so, you know, anytime you can put something sentimental into your designs, I think you should try to do it. This would be cute for teachers too. So at first I was doing some really Victorian looking books, and those were pretty. I mean, you know, A Christmas Carol, this is 'Twas the Night, pretty books like that. And then I decided, no, let me actually use book covers that connect with my kids from their childhood. So here's some of our favorites. I'm gonna print them out. I measured the size of the books. It was about 6.5 by 4. I'm gonna print these out on cardstock and hopefully just use a glue stick and glue them onto these books. And then I need a ribbon to hang them with. So I'm gonna get started on that. So Joann's is having an awesome sale. I grabbed a bunch of velvet ribbons, and I don't know, I mean, these are $2 a piece. Oh, and then I got that one. I will put all of these book covers in a link for you, so if you want to just print these off, you can use mine. I'm just using a regular Elmer's glue stick. This would be a really fun craft for kids, actually. Really easy once you get it decided on. The hardest part is choosing your book covers. I got this idea from my friend Sherry from Canterbury Cottage. She has a YouTube channel, and she just non-stop thinking of little ideas like this. Now for the ribbons, I think that I should really do each one individually with my velvet ribbons. So which are probably the cream, I don't know, maybe the dark green for this one. I'm just gonna hot glue a loop of it probably in the center of the book. And then I'm going to use my velvet ribbon. I'm really loving this 1/4-inch velvet ribbon for hanging ornaments this year. I feel like that is really elegant, and it is on trend too. Okay, so I got that done. That was super therapeutic for me. I have two, maybe even three of my children moving out next year. And so I just felt really nostalgic as I was working on this room and just putting their little books up on the tree and hanging their stockings and feeling like, oh my gosh, this is our last Christmas, even though I know it's not truly our last Christmas. It is going to be the last Christmas where they're around and I'm working on things. So it's just sad, but I'm happy to share it with you. I think this will be my favorite room of the house this year. And next week, I really want to do a video about maybe like 10 different ways to just really give your current Christmas decorations that you keep unpacking every year, how to like give them a little shot in the arm and just a little boost and a refresh, and how to style them a little bit different or put in a velvet ribbon on this or something like that. So that's my thought for next week. I'm gonna get started on that right away. And P.S. don't forget to grab one of my new design binders that I've created custom. They are heirloom quality. I love these binders. I'm getting fantastic feedback. My thought is that you can use this to keep all of your dreams for your home in with your samples and receipts and paint colors and things like that. So I have a lot of pockets and dividers and beautiful touches that I've added in. You'll need to order by December 14th to make sure that you get your binder in time if you're giving it as a gift. So keep that in mind. If you've been distracted but you did want to get one, let me know. I'm gonna put a link in the description and I would love to get one under your tree for you this year. All right, thanks for watching. Take care and I will see you next week.